NFL Week 3 is almost in the books, and wow, did Sunday have everything you could possibly want. Backup quarterbacks starting, debilitating injuries, survivor pool upsets, and more defensive touchdowns than ever before? What's up, everybody? I'm Howard Bender from Fantasy Alarm. It's time to take a look at some of the hot takes, the takeaways, maybe some buy lows and some sell highs. What are we going to do with this week? Let's wrap things up here in the best way we possibly can. Let's start with the bounce back players. We'll give some good news here. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. Stop with the whole tush-push talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. You're only going to piss them off. You're only going to piss off Jalen Hurts. And then what's he going to do? He's going to just start dropping the football into every receiver's lap. A.J. Brown, big bounce back. Devontae Smith got into the end zone. Dallas Goedert got into the end zone. So Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, big bounce backs for them and the Eagles offense. Nico Collins, a big, beautiful 100-yard effort there. I don't know what's wrong with C.J. Stroud. Maybe this guy does not need autonomy at the line. Maybe he needs a little bit of guidance, but I don't want to focus on him in the negative right now. Let's focus on the bounce back for Nico Collins. What an absolute monster of a game for him. And speaking of monster games, Courtland Sutton. Where are you, Troy Franklin owners? Where is that hype right now? Courtland Sutton, he's not dead. Cue that Undertaker gif. Oh, and he's alive. Give me all the Courtland Sutton you can. Ex-receiver in a Joe Lombardi scheme. We've said it for years. Pay attention. And also finally here, how about Hunter Henry? Nice little bounce back for him. Got to the end zone twice. Drake May, good game. Not a great game, but a good game. But finding Hunter Henry twice for touchdowns, that was what was important for us. You needed that in a day like today. All right, let's talk about what worked. We'll tell you flat out, Jonathan Taylor worked. Worked. Another 100-yard effort on the ground into the end zone 3 times. Absolutely masterful. This guy is a lock. Don't ever trade him. Don't ever worry about him. Good to go. Jordan Mason. Great game from him today. Great game from him. Love the offensive line. Let's face facts. Rashawn Slater being on that offensive line, that's huge. Now with Aaron Jones, who's on IR, you don't have to worry about him for a few weeks. And I'll tell you what, with Carson Wentz under center, you need to lean on the ground game a little bit more. Kevin O'Connell did just that, and everything worked out beautifully. Of course, 700 different defensive touchdowns from the Minnesota Vikings. Got to tip the cap to you guys over there. But Jordan Mason, definite wheels up for him. Quinshon Judkins, great performance here. Another kid who's showing that he can handle the full workload. And he did it against a really stout Green Bay defense. I mean, Green Bay came in and lost this game and played down at the Cleveland Browns level, but definitely shined bright in that one. J.K. Dobbins, a great game from him, little revenge game narrative. You got to love seeing that. Again, leading that backfield in Denver. It will eventually be R.J. Harvey's turn, but R.J. Harvey needs to sit on your back burner for right now and just kind of hold tight. J.K. Dobbins never stays healthy, people, so don't worry about R.J. Harvey. He'll be just fine. Got to shout out to Garrett Wilson. Remember, if you're the only target in town, you're going to get the work. So while Breece Hall got game flowed out of this one here, and the Bucs almost blew it, but the Jets ended up blowing it at the end, what shined bright? Garrett Wilson. Getting the targets, 10 catches, found the end zone. That's what we're looking for. Again, he's the only receiving target. Alan Lazard, stop. Emeka Egbuka. Well, I'll tell you what, timing is everything, isn't it? Hamstring injury for Mike Evans. Chris Godwin is on his way back. Emeka Egbuka staying on the field. We like that very, very much. I would have thought that if had Mike Evans stayed healthy, I would have said sell high on Emeka Egbuka. Can't do it right now. Cannot do it. Hold tight. What else worked? How about the Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf bet that I was doing today? Anytime touchdown for DK Metcalf. Congratulations. It cashed. 50 career touchdowns for DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers now sits by himself for 4th all-time on touchdown passes. You got to find those narratives, people. Sometimes you got to find them, like Matthew Stafford. Another narrative. I put that video out last week. You guys can go check out the Fantasy Alarm YouTube page for that. But Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes away from a career 100 touchdown passes as a Los Angeles Ram. Did you bet that over 1.5 touchdown passes for him today? I did. Targeting against the Saints, we're just going to keep doing this in Survivor over and over and over again. Seahawks were an absolute monster lock. And I don't even think a home game versus an away game is even going to matter. These Saints look absolutely atrocious. Speaking of atrocious, Rhamondre Stevenson, Fumble-Rooski, Fumbleitis, get rid of him. Trevion Henderson took over that role. I think we're going to finally see that transition actually happen here. So what worked? Waiting on Trevion Henderson. That's what worked. Patience, people. Sometimes you just need a little bit of patience. It was only week 3 for crying out loud. Luther Burden, Huge game, big game. This was fantastic. Odunze and DJ Moore, who was an afterthought, it seemed, also had good games, got into the end zone. So before you start freaking out about Luther Burden, understand this was the Dallas Cowboys' horrendous secondary. No Deron Bland. Trevon Diggs was hobbling around the entire time. It was absolutely brutal. So yeah, pump the brakes a little bit on Luther Burden. He's still going to compete for targets here, unless DJ Moore is possibly persona non grata, but he did see 4 targets and Luther Burden only saw 3. Not really a hot take here, but what else worked? Dallas being bad. We're going to target against their defense. I hoped that Dak Prescott would have turned things around. Quinshon Judkins down a little bit, but he did not. And that was kind of a downer for the rest of us here. Obviously, losing CeeDee Lamb to an ankle injury, that is no good, but that did not work. Dak Prescott, I'm a little concerned right now. A lot of safety valve work over to Jake Ferguson. That's not how you want to run this offense. Nuh-uh. What else didn't work here this week, week 3? How about investing in high-end players? Jamar Chase. It was Jake Browning. He was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But Justin Jefferson didn't look that good. Bijan Robinson, I don't know what Carolina was doing to sell out. They sold out to stop the run. They didn't fully stop Bijan Robinson, but they did enough to kind of hold him down, force Michael Penix into throwing. And Michael Penix, that doesn't work. That's terrible. I'll tell you what, I'd be a little concerned. You don't want to ruin this kid's confidence. This kid, he's like 72 years old. He's like the oldest freshman ever. But the problem is you don't want to screw up with his confidence too much because you invested that early draft capital in drafting a guy like Michael Penix. You said that this was your future. But Washington comes into town next week, home game for the Falcons. Kind of feel like it's a must win. Do they go to Kirk Cousins? You like that? Something to think about there. What else didn't work? The Packers in Survivor. What a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. The lesson to learn? You don't run on the Cleveland Browns. They shut down Chase Brown in week 1. They shut down Derrick Henry in week 2. And they shut down Josh Jacobs here in week 3. Defensive line there for the Cleveland Browns, the run stopping that they do is for real. So keep that in mind when you're targeting running backs in DFS moving forward. What else didn't work? Stop calling Daniel Jones Indiana Jones. We went from Danny Dimes to we hate this guy, get him out of the NFL, to now he's Indiana Jones. It was a very pedestrian game today, people. Very pedestrian. He didn't really pick up much in the rushing yards. Everything went through Jonathan Taylor. He didn't throw the ball particularly well. Got some good work there to Michael Pittman. Nice little big catch for Alec Pierce, who's now concussed. But stop calling him Indiana Jones. You guys don't realize all the hype that comes with a player. All that hype, it starts to weigh in. And I'm telling you, the players will tell you that they don't read the headlines. They don't pay attention to what's going on. They know exactly what's going on. Their agents tell them exactly what's going on. Their managers, their family, their teammates tell them exactly what's going on. They all know. So when you're sitting there and you're hyping a guy and he's the best and he's going to be great, guess what? He's going to fall. Always happens. Never fails. Never fails. So stop calling him Indiana Jones, please. What else isn't working? The relationship between Cam Ward and Calvin Ridley. I don't even know what to say about that. Absolutely bonkers. Ladd McConkey. Are there too many mouths to feed in Los Angeles? I'm a little concerned right now. Not going to lie. Keenan Allen getting work. Quentin Johnson getting work. I think Ladd McConkey is a really good buy low candidate right now. Trust me on that. Just don't overpay. But I do worry that he has not produced for these first 3 weeks because Justin Herbert's spreading that ball around. By the way, wheels up for Omari Hampton, right? Oh, you don't want to celebrate an injury here like Najee with the ruptured Achilles. But Omari Hampton definitely showed that he's capable of handling the full workload, right? Rushed 19 times, caught 6 passes. He can do it all. We'll see Hassan Haskins, but we don't need to see a lot of Hassan Haskins for sure. I thought I had a good sneaky stack with San Francisco, Arizona this week. Mac Jones banged up, still didn't look good. Arizona couldn't get it together. There's just so much that didn't happen in this game. It was very disappointing. The lineup, the super secret lineup that I gave everybody, I told you about on SiriusXM, and then I put it in the lineups, actually did really well. Cashed. Didn't win the Millie Maker, but it still cashed. Big injuries that you're going to need to watch out for moving forward. James Conner, obviously out. It's Trey Benson season. You're going to want to pick him up. You're going to want to unload the fab budget on him. CeeDee Lamb, they say that he avoided a major ankle injury, so fingers crossed on that. And then, like I said, Najee Harris with the ruptured Achilles. He's done. Cut him. No IR spot. It's finished. Other things that we have to watch out for. The usage, the running back usage in Washington, it stinks. It's a committee. Krosky Merritt is not that great. McNichols is not that great. It's just all things not that great. Running backs to still believe in because they got game flowed out this week. Ashton Genty, Breece Hall, Chase Brown. Listen, when your team goes down 20 points in 2 seconds, you're going to stop running the football. I will say this, Raiders offensive line, get your act together. Damn it, get your act together here. The Jags passing attack, I don't even understand that. How did 11 targets go to Parker Washington and Travis Hunter saw 2? Makes no decision for me. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And then finally, again, I said this earlier in the video here, but take the ball out of Stroud's hands. Lean on the running game. Don't give him this autonomy at the line. Come on, Nick Caley. Don't be doing this. We're going to scheme and go and, depending on what we see and what the matchups are, your team doesn't have an identity right now, and it's in dire need of one. We've got all this stuff over at fantasyalarm.com. We've got more videos, waiver wire articles. We're going to get you guys all set and ready for week 4. I hope you guys won. May all your Monday Night Football bets cash. And I'm Howard Bender. Catch you next time.